Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Blair Bretag, who will fight on Eternal MMA 91, November 30th. Hello, Blair. How are you?
Thank you very much, mate. I'm very good. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
You will have definitely the biggest challenge of your career in front of you because he is even a veteran of the sport. He fought a few months ago in the Contender Series fight. So how do you feel a few days before this kind of challenge?
Yeah, I think it is definitely a great step up and challenge for me at this point in my career. Not only in MMA, Cam's also had a great career in Muay Thai, kickboxing, and having a really good run in MMA at the moment as well. So he's a true fighter, true athlete, and he's got a great gym behind him. And I think this is a great opportunity for me to progress in my career and put another name on my belt, really. Like I've gone through a great opponent in Nick Kepu in my last fight, but this next one in Cam Rowston, I think, is another step up. It's another opportunity to show how good I am and put myself in a position where maybe the next level is calling my name.
And of course, because he fought in the Contender Series, he's a little bit more known. So with a win, of course, it's a big like challenge, but also big opportunity. And with the win, the like next door can open for you, like Eternal MMA title, maybe even Contender Series next year.
Yes, definitely. And I think that's where my heart is, and that's where the way that I'm looking at this fight, it's just another step for me to get a little bit closer to that next level. Whether that is a belt or Dana White Contender Series, I think I think I put on the performance that I am going to against him with his experience, I think I've become a very big prospect for Dana White Contender Series next year.
And Rowston is a good grappler. He got 6 submission on his record. So how do you how do you prepare for this kind of adversity on the ground?
Yeah, he is a striker on the feet. He's got lots of experience with his Muay Thai and his kickboxing and the gym that he's at. But he loves to grapple, and he's got some great grappling wins and experience there as well. So I have a lot of teammates that are exceptional grapplers that I'm training with every single day. I haven't had to show that side of my game yet in any of my fights. So I kind of got a bit of an ace up the sleeve, really. Like Cam doesn't quite know what he's going to walk in there and how I'm going to respond to his attacks on the ground. So I kind of don't want to show my hands too soon. It's exciting that I get to challenge myself against a guy who is so formidable on the ground, and that's just another chance for me to kind of grow as a fighter as well.
And you have a free knockouts win. And how about your cardio? Because it's always like a little bit a question mark when the fighter is finishing the fight quickly. So how do you feel when you spar in the like second or third round?
Yeah, I've never made it outside the first round in any of my fights. And that does open up the question, like how do I perform second round, third round, or into championship rounds? Um, in the gym, I find I'm only hitting my gears in the second round. That's when I kind of settle into my training, settle into my hard rounds, and that's when I start doing my best work. So yeah, look, I believe I have the potential to finish this fight in the first round again. I have a lot of things I've been working on to really debunk and decode Cam's style. Um, I'm just going to make sure that I just apply my plan and the pressure that I know how to do and just see how it goes. But I have no dramas if it goes into second round. I have no dramas if it goes into third round. That's how I train, and I'm just looking forward to that challenge.
And did you watch his fights by yourself, or you let your coaches do this part of the game?
Bit of both. I'm not a massive like sit down and watch all my opponent's fights. I'll watch enough that I get a sense of their timing, a sense of their style or their decision making almost. Once I feel like I've got that kind of rhythm there, I let my coaching team do a lot of the research and just give me the game plan and work how they think I should be. And that's worked for me in the last 4 fights. I feel like I've adjusted really, really well in all my fights to my opponent. And we've kind of really put the hammer on the nail with our game plan for every fight. So yeah, nothing's changed this one. I got a rough idea how he's going to move. I have a pretty good idea on what he's going to do, and yeah, just gonna wait for the night to see what he does.
And what was the first combat sport that you ever train?
I started in Muay Thai when I was about 14 years old, which is 14 years ago now. So yeah, I started off at Muay Thai and I did that for quite a while before I moved into MMA.
And did you think about staying in Muay Thai or like striking combat sport, or like the MMA that you know that MMA is the thing for you?
No, I kind of fell into MMA really. I was always in my mind going to be a Muay Thai fighter, but I came back to the sport after some time and I joined Team Compton here in Brisbane, Queensland. And I was like, I want to get back into fighting. And they're like, do you want to try MMA? And I'd never grappled at this stage. I'd never trained in MMA at this stage, but the idea of a new challenge really excited me. So I started training and 6, 7 weeks later, I had my first professional fight. And I fell in love with it because I became a student again. Not that I've learned everything in striking, I'm still very much a student in striking, but I learned to learn again by doing jiu-jitsu, by doing wrestling, and applying these new kind of styles to my game. And very much a martial artist. I fell in love with that idea of learning again and being a white belt again in everything that I do.
So probably the first like grappling sessions were a really tough one, right? Because you are a striker, you are great in one thing, and right now you are the beginner, and the even smaller guys can handle you.
It's very humbling. Yeah, anyone that does grappling, you can't have an ego, or if you do, it's very short-lived. It's yeah, you could have someone half your size strangling you and you have no idea how to get out of it. It's quite humbling, but once you get past that and you start calming down and you start learning, I love grappling. I love grappling so much. It's become my new kind of love of the sport is learning and teaching it as well. So yeah, those first sessions are brutal.
And if you can tell me more about the gym that right now you are training in, it's Team Compton. How did you get there, and who are your like regular training partners?
Yeah, I joined Team Compton in 2021, and I just got referred to it by a friend. I only just moved to Brisbane at that point, and I got referred to it by one of their fighters. And over the kind of last few years, we've had a lot of people come and go, but our core team at the moment is very, very strong. We've got the likes of in the local circuit, John Martin Fraser, who's currently fighting for the middleweight belt. He's one of my biggest teammates at the moment. We got Dom Marfam, who has fought for a belt multiple times and a really strong contender in the Australian circuit. And then on the international scene, we've got Tom Nolan, who's multiple fights into his UFC career and really kind of making a name for himself. And Stuart Nickel, who's also in the UFC, about to make his second appearance in 2025. So we've got guys on the big stage, and we've got guys at the highest end of the local circuit, which I believe in the next 12 months, 18 months, you're going to see a lot more of us on that international stage. We've been developing for so long, we're at the point where we see this massive changeover from that local scene to really taking over and going international. What promotion that is, we've got lots of management teams to work with, but I believe that you'll see many, many Team Compton names on the international scene all around the world.
And overall, I think that Eternal MMA is a very good promotion to be in when you are fighting in the regional scene. So it's the best place, and even the name that you mentioned, Tom Nolan, is in my opinion like very very huge prospect, and he's 2-0, I believe, in the UFC. So he probably will be like 5-0 or something like this quite soon.
Yeah, I think Eternal is one of the best, or is the best stepping stone for the Australian scene to get there. And you've seen so many Australian fighters from Eternal make that next step and do really, really well because the competition in here in Australia is really dense and really tough to get to that next level. So all those fighters that make it, do quite well in the UFC, and we're seeing so many names out there at the moment from Australia representing the country really, really well.
And today you posted on your Instagram the question, what is your favorite part of fighting?
Yeah.
For you, what is like the part that you enjoy the most?
Yeah, so the question was, what's your favorite moment, favorite part of fighting? Is it the result? Is it winning? Is it the fact that you're the best and you get to win? Is it the preparation, just being in the trenches with your teammates, just putting all your effort, your soul, your heart on the line to try and be something? Or is it that moment where you're just being the everything you put effort into, you're just performing at that level? And for me, I'm very much a preparation guy, but the moment for me, fight day for me, win, lose, or draw is the best day of the year. Like I get to go out on that stage and do what I love and put on a performance for myself and just show how good I am. If someone's able to beat me when I'm in that state, I'll shake their hand. Good job. Like I feel like I'm dangerous every time I step in that cage, and you have to be at the best of your abilities to beat me. So I love the moment, and I cherish that fight day so much because yeah, it's so much effort, time, energy put into it. And no matter the result, I'm so proud of where I am. And I believe because of that, I will get the result that I deserve.
I thought moment like the Max Holloway against Justin Gaethje, this kind of crazy knockout, probably the like emotions when Holloway knocked him out was were like unbelievable because it's like one of the one time it can happen in your life probably.
Yeah. Oh, and that exact situation sums it up right there. Everything on the line, the belt on the line, reputation, and he calls him into the middle and he's like, let's live it right now. Let's make it happen right now. Yeah, he is a true representation of living that moment and being that guy. That's cool.
And by the way, what is your favorite knockout ever from UFC or even overall MMA?
Well, I think one of my all-time favorite knockouts, the first one to come into mind, and is one of my favorite fighters ever, is that front kick from Anderson Silva. There was on every poster in the world for the longest time, just that front kick and just he was on a roll at that point in time and he did some great fights after that, but that was his pinnacle right there. He just so relaxed and I feel like I take a lot of inspiration from him as a fighter, just how relaxed and artistic he is. But yeah, that knockout, that's what got me to love martial arts more and more and more is just seeing someone be able to do that.
It's actually a technique from Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Because at this point, when I think that 1 year later, Lyoto knocked out Randy Couture too, that Steven Seagal showed up in and then said
Yeah.
that he like teach this kind of move. And right now you have a really interesting challenge in front of you. But when you are thinking about possibility on going to the UFC in next few years, do you have a name in mind? Maybe as just a dream fight, the fighter that you would like to face. Maybe the fight will happen, maybe not. But in your mind, it would be interesting to match your style against his.
Yeah, and you mean like on the world stage in the UFC? Yeah. To be honest, I haven't really thought too much of that. I look up to a lot of the middleweight guys because we've got so many from Australia. We've got the Robert Whitakers, we've got the Israel Adesanya from New Zealand. Um, we've got so many pioneers of the sport still dominating so much. So I really look up to what they've done and how they've ruled that division. Yeah, to be honest, I really don't have a name. I don't have a name for a dream fight at this point in time. Um, I guess the scariest fight and the most entertaining would be going up against someone like Alex Pereira. But I think just that would be a moment thing, live in the moment, getting to the point where I've earned the shot to share a ring with a god like that. So yeah, I've got no exact names for you, but if I'm going to live in the moment, it'll be someone like that.
And did you have a chance to train with either Robert Whittaker or Israel Adesanya?
I never had a chance to know. Some of my teammates have. Elliot Compton and Izzy have actually done some fight camps and trained together in the past with their Muay Thai career. And then John Fraser did some training with Robert Whitaker last year, but I've never had a chance to kind of branch out with these other gyms yet. Cam Rowston fights with Israel Adesanya. Um, so that style is definitely going to be present. That style, that mindset from City Kickboxing is going to be present. Um, yeah, I haven't trained with them, but I know how they train, and yeah.
But I think that it's kind of crazy that in like last 10 years that this part of the world made so many of great champions, great contenders, because it was like many years ago. Not many like ranked fighters, but right now it's like Robert Whittaker, Alexander Volkanovski, of course Israel Adesanya, and much more, and probably there will be many more to come. So it's kind of
Yes.
crazy what happened.
Yeah, I think as I kind of touched on it before, we don't have a lot of volume of fighters in Australia, maybe like the US, where they've got hundreds of promotions going all the time, lots of fighters fighting, and they can make their record look really, really good because they don't have to fight lots of really high level people. And that's not a dig at all. That's just the facts that are at play. Where in Australia, we don't have hundreds and hundreds of fighters that we can pick and choose. Our best guys are fighting the best guys every single time. We're not, the rank number one isn't fighting a guy on debut or shouldn't be fighting a guy on debut. He's fighting the top five, top three every single fight and should be challenging himself every single time. And then because we're doing that, only a small percentage of us are getting to that next level. But we're so battle trialed and tested that by the time we get to that international level, we have that skill and we have that dog in us to kind of get it done. Not even the Robert Whittaker's, like the Jack Della is on that pinnacle right now, who's about to take on some unreal opponents and have a shot at the title. You've got Jack Jenkins, who's come back from injury and he's doing really, really well as well. Yeah, we've got so many names in the UFC that are just doing so well that have come from these grassroots.
You are in the combat sports for now for many years. So what do you think are the biggest is the biggest misconception about MMA and even about the fighters?
Yeah, a biggest misconception is the violence. A lot of people that don't know martial arts or fighting just see it as violence. And look, that is a very small percentage of it, right? What they don't see is the training, the discipline, the mindset shift, the healthy habits and things that you get from just devoting your life to being better every single day. But how that also reciprocates in your life, right? You wake up when it's super cold, you get on the mats and you're rolling when your body hurts, and you've got the discipline to go through that pain. You can take that to every aspect of your life. So a lot of people have this misconception that fighting is just for violence and just for hurting people and kicking them when they're down. But these are true athletes. These are real life people that have put themselves on the line to inspire their friends and family and have the ability to kind of use those skills in any aspect that they want. That's why you see a lot of fighters be successful after it as well. They can use the mindset that they've used for so long to be an athlete, and they can use it in business, they can use it in life, and they can teach others how to do that as well. So I think martial arts and fighting is a beautiful thing, and it has to happen because you need these gladiators to kind of help other people work through their stuff.
Yes, and this is the difference from like 1993 up to now, because then it was like cage fighting, no holds barred, and everything. This kind of like brutality and violence. And right now, for I think many years, it's just a sport. Of course, it's a brutal one, but there are other brutal sports that can like hurt you, even like your brain. And in the end, I think that is like sport, and many people recognize right now is that it is a like real sport.
Yes. Yeah, and I think a lot of that just comes from not understanding the sport. People that have never done it, never been in the training room to see what goes into it. They just see people getting injured all the time and knockouts and stuff. But yeah, that's a very small percentage of it. And you can get hurt walking down the staircase. You can get hurt in a gym. Like we control and we look after our bodies at the most elite level, and just for one night of the year. So yeah, it's a misconception because people don't understand it.
And lately on your YouTube channel, I saw that you have video blog. I actually watched only one episode, but I really like this kind of really high quality of it.
Yeah.
And do you plan to put more of these episodes?
Yeah, very much so. It's been a project of mine in the work for almost 12 months, just doing research and working out what I wanted to do. And I finally got a team together. And yeah, what I want to do is document my journey to making it to the international stage. I'm a big believer that at the current point in time, me as an athlete is just the platform that I'm using for the next stage of my career. Like I want to build a reputation, a brand, and push that onto the international scene and make money off it and share a good message. And things like YouTube and social media are just a part of that. End of the day, I'm a product. I'm a fighter. I'm an athlete. I'm a product. Someone's making money off me. So I need to be making money off me as well. And on top of that, if I can document the journey to getting to the top, and if I can document the journey and help the next generation learn how to do it and see the highs and lows that go into it, then 100%, that's totally worth it for me. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I get to watch back all the good times with all my friends, my teammates, and it's been really, really fun so far. So yeah, appreciate you watching.
And it probably is really cool because you can in 2 years you can see at what point you were in 2024, and probably if there would be a chance to go back in time, you would like to do it even in like 2010, 2014, and of course it will not happen, but you can start from now or from like a few years ago when you started, like even not blog, but even like small videos.
Yeah. Yeah, just documenting the journey so you can go back and see what you're doing, see what you're like, see how you moved. And yeah, it's really cool to have that there and document that journey.
And about your fight, what is like the official prediction in this one?
Yeah, so I think I truly believe that I knock Cam out. I think I have a really good game plan. I know what's coming my way, and I believe that I knock him out on the feet. He's going to do everything in his power to prevent that, and I already know where he's going to go and what he's going to do. But yeah, no, I believe I get this done in the first or second round.
Okay, Blair. So many thanks for the conversation. I think that your fight against Rowston will be great, and I think that the win can like open another door for you, and next year would be a really exciting one for your career.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Thank you so much for that.